Good morning. Today I have a good news for you. You will have an opportunity to win the prize during our today's webinar. You will see the slide with the task, and the first who does this task will get a prize. Before it, we will practice a little bit how to do such kind of purposes, and after it, you will have such an opportunity. So be attentive and take part in commenting all the questions. So the topic of ours today webinar is effective communication. So do you think that communication is important in our life? If you think that yes, send plus. If you think no, minus. Yeah, definitely. Communication is very important. And today we will look closer at our 4 agenda of the lesson. They are effective communication, these principles, rules, tips, and problems. Miscommunication that might appear, and verbal, non-verbal communication. That we will practice today a little bit. Starting with communication, please tell me, what is it? Just with one word, how can you understand the word communication? Yeah, so it might be speech. What else? Relationship. Messages, yeah, with friends, online, offline. It's also communication. Now let's look closer at basic communication principles. There you can see 2 quotations, 2 principles of it, and tell me either you agree or disagree. If you agree, send yes. If you disagree, no. Everything with do is communication. So do you agree with it? Everything with do is communication. And one more. Any behavior is communication. If you agree, send yes. If you disagree, no. Yeah, good. So you're right, both of them are correct, and behavior is also important when we speak with people. Let's move closer and find out about the rule, how it works. Here on the picture, you can see S, sender, and R, receiver. Sender tells us news or maybe any other sentences, and we call it message. Receiver think about it and gives feedback. So feedback is very important because it's not interesting just to speak with yourself. It's better to get the reaction, and feedback is our reaction. Please type me if you think that feedback should be with words. So you should say feedback and no other options are available. Do you agree with that? Should be feedback only with words. No, it shouldn't. Okay, what other ways of feedback do you know? For example, smiling, yeah, emotions, is it feedback? Emoji, is it feedback? What else might be feedback? Some gestures, yeah, and the rest. Okay, good. So now we will watch a short video about the communication, and your task to type either you think this communication was successful or not. So what do you think about it? Is it successful? So here you have yes, no, okay. So they understand each other, yeah, kids know what they're doing, but for us, it's difficult to get the opinion and find out what really happens there. So communication is not only when all of us understand what is going on, but at least two people. Good. Next one. The sense of communication is the reaction it causes. How do you understand this rule? Do you agree or disagree with it? The sense of communication is the reaction it causes. Yeah, you commented so successful. Good. What might it be? For example, when you show someone a thing or maybe a gesture, and the person understands what it is. So it also calls the reaction, and it might be treated as communication. So agree with it? Yeah, good. Next one, the way message is delivered always affects the way message is received. So here, if we're talking about, example, you ask someone to help you in a rude way. So can you expect that this person will be polite? Maybe no, yeah, he will be rude as well. So that's the same when you deliver the message, how you deliver will also affect how you will get it back, this feedback. We have the main problem in communication. Here on the slide, there are two pictures. On the first one, two men argue what number it is. Either it's 6 or 9. So who is right? So it's difficult to understand who is right because both of them. For someone it's 9, for another it's 6. How can we solve this miscommunication problem? What should we do? So maybe to invite another person, yeah, to look at from the same side. And I think this is the only way here to really prove and to tell what you mean. Because if you just try to prove it with words, it's impossible to tell it. Other person won't understand. The same with the figures that you might see. Yeah, it's circle on the floor as a shade and square on the wall. So it depends from what side you're looking on it. This might be the reason why miscommunication appears. Here you can see the quotation. It might be difficult to catch it from the first time, but let's try. Between what I think, what I want to say, and what I believe I say, what you want to hear, and what you believe to hear, what you hear, and what you want to understand, what you think you understand, what you understand, there are 10 possibilities that we might have some problem communicating, but let's try anyway. So this quotation is about the following. When we want to say something, first of all, we think, yeah, what to say. And what we think as a result may not be the same as the person understands listening to our words. And that is why there might be some problems. And as it was said in the quotation, 10 possibilities of these problems appeared. So next one, you will watch one more video about the miscommunication and try to say what kind of miscommunication is it. So here you might see the president, some politics, and the dialogue between them. Pay attention to their names.
Aunt Condoleezza Rice is here to see you.
Good, send her in.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. President.
Oh, Condoleezza, nice to see you. What's happening?
Well, Mr. President, I have the report here about the new leader in China. Mr. President, who is the new leader of China?
Well, that's what I want to know.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, Mr. President.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, Condi. Who is the new leader of China?
Yes.
I mean the feller's name.
Who?
The guy in China.
Who?
The new leader of China.
Who?
The Chinaman.
Hugh is leading China, Mr. President.
What are you asking me for?
I'm telling you, Hugh is leading China.
Well, I'm asking you, Condi, who is leading China?
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Will you or will you not tell me the name of the new leader of China?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Arafat is in China. I thought he was in the Middle East.
That's correct, sir.
Then who's in China?
Yes, sir.
Yasser's in China?
No, sir.
Then who is?
Yes, sir.
Yasser?
No, sir.
I need to know the name of the new leader of China, so I want you to get me the Secretary General of the United Nations on the phone.
Coffee, Anna? You want coffee?
No.
You don't want coffee?
No, but now you mention it, I could use a glass of milk. And then get me the UN.
Yes, sir.
Not Yasser, the guy at the United Nations.
Coffee.
Milk. Will you please make that call?
And call who?
Well, who's the guy at the UN?
No, who is the guy in China?
Will you stay out of China?
Yes, sir.
And stay out of the Middle East. Just get me the guy at the UN.
Coffee.
All right, with cream and 2 sugars. Now get on the phone.
Hello. Rice here.
Rice, good idea. And get a couple of egg rolls too, Condi. Maybe we should send some to the guy in China and the Middle East. Can you get Chinese food in the Middle East? I don't know.
And second example of miscommunication.
Hello. How much are they asking? Well, that's a lot of money for a deck. I hate to tell you this, but you're getting robbed. Did you hear me? You're getting robbed.
Next one.
Double pepperoni?
Keep the change.
Touch me, I kill you, man.
So, what miscommunication problems you saw there? What was the first one? So that's the name, yeah, that sounds the same, who, but a different spelling of it. Also coffee, not coffee, coffee with milk, okay, and the rest. Who else was there? Yes, sir. So these words that same with the sounds. It's difficult to understand what we need. And in English, there are a lot of words that sound the same, and you might think about one word, but when you hear it in the context, you understand that it's another word. What was the second problem? What was in the video? Can you type me and try to guess the miscommunication that happened there? And the same with the third. So I will wait for all your answers and a little bit later comment on it. Before it, we will look at causes, reasons for miscommunication. They might be the following. Using wrong, unspecific, or complicated vocabulary. As the initiator of communication, the speaker or writer might choose words that are easily understood by the listener or reader. So, for example, if I tell you the word plethora, so if you know this word, send me plus. If it's something strange for you and you hear it for the first time, send minus. Plethora. So, do you know this word or no? Plethora. No, probably not. If I say you plenty, so some of you heard it earlier, but you might not know the meaning, but you heard it for sure. Okay, and the word a lot of. So a lot of, all of you knows, so it's quite clear. These words are the same, plethora, plenty, a lot of. That is why we need to understand with whom we are speaking and what range of words of vocabulary we should use. Words that are easy, in the middle, or the most difficult one at advanced or maybe proficiency level. If we're talking with a 10-year-old child, it means that probably some difficult words, terms, from politics, economy, kids might not know. That is why we also should pay attention to the age of a person with whom we are speaking. A communicator should always consider his or her audience when communicating. Now let's look at poor pronunciation and disturbing noises. So sometimes it's difficult to understand the speech if the pronunciation is really good. But if it's poor, it's more complicated. The noises and other forms of distraction around you will greatly affect the acquisition, how you get this information, and what the person is really saying. For example, if you watch a video, and the actor's voice is low, you can't hear it, but the music is so loud. So it might cause some miscommunication and difficulties to understand it. Next one, lack of attention and concentration. Often, even if the message is clear, what we want to say, there still might miscommunication appear because the receiver is not attentive. So when he or she is not interested in the speech itself, they might miss this part. And the important thing to do here is not just simply about hearing the message, but listening to it. So what might be the difference between hear and listen? You can listen, you can hear the music, but you may not listen to it and not know what words are there if you heard it for the first time, for example. Listening includes understanding and comprehension of the message. Every individual should learn to listen, even if they're not interested in the topic. So this will be the next part, like differences in perception. It means that for some of you, maybe the topic of cars would be interesting, for another it might be science, but all of you should be flexible and be ready to know a little bit from one topic and a little bit from another one. No matter how in different way you perceive this information, you get it. And one more point is information overload. That means when there are a lot of words, sentences, and there is no sense in it. When you are in a working environment, there will be times that you will be communicated with a person who also receive a pool of information, means a lot of it, from different areas. And you need somehow control this information and understand which one is important. You can use interpersonal skills. That means that you might be polite, yeah, when listening to someone. It's not only about how you get the information, but how you react to it. And if you know a lot about one topic for 2 hour speech, it's not a good idea just to give to a listener all the information. So maybe try to make it shorter, only 5 minutes, but the most interesting and important facts. So now let's turn back to your comments as for the video. The third one, calls. Good advertisement. Yeah, so you haven't commented here for these two videos what miscommunication appears, but in the third video, for example, there was a girl who played a computer game or something like this, and all the men reacted to her and were thinking that this is he, the only one who she wants. But in fact, it means the problem with addressee. So there wasn't one person, and it was difficult to understand to whom this message was addressed, to a TV or to all people around. And as for the second one, story at the supermarket, they just judged him from the appearance, just even didn't give them a chance to understand what he wanted. So these are the main problems there. Now, you see, but you do not observe. This is a quotation. How can you understand it? You see, but you don't observe. Do you agree with it? For example, you might see there are a lot of people in the room. They can see a table, a book on the table. But only one person will observe that in this book there is only one page in the middle with a black paper, while the rest is white. So observe means to see the details. The same you can see here a picture of Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, all of them were at the same crime scene, and they had the same instruments, everything they might do, but only Sherlock could understand what is going on there and create even something that wasn't mentioned at all. So this is observe. Not thinking about, you see. Yeah, even not be attentive, not think what you see. Good. Verbal and non-verbal communication. Have you heard about it earlier? For example, when I speak, is it verbal or non-verbal? What do you think? Our speech, our words, messages, sounds, verbal or non-verbal? And for example, when I wave to you, what is it? Or showing some emotions. Is it verbal or non-verbal? Let's look closer to it. We have two types, yeah? The first one, cool, I like it. Delivering a message using words and sounds. This means verbal. Non-verbal, all forms of communication except words. All our gestures, emotions, and the rest. Now we will look a series of short videos with communication problems that might appear, non-verbal communication mainly. And your task will be choose the one that you like the most.
I'm pregnant. And you're the father, by the way, but you got it.
So that was facial expression, how he reacted to it.
No, I could get him to forgive us.
I don't know.
I'm telling you. I can do it.
Yeah, he can do it.
This is eye contact when he convinced that he can do it.
He was like this crazy-eyed, hairy beast man. He was like a Bigfoot or a Yeti or something. Hi, just so you know, we didn't mean to fog you. We actually thought you were like a Yeti or something. Hi.
So you like the short hair better?
What? Yeti? Danny?
So this is physical appearance, how he looked. First Yeti, then attractive Danny.
Steve? Hello?
That was behavior, a little bit strange and ignoring him.
You two are happy, then I'm happy for you. I'm fine.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
So that was paralinguistic pitch. I'm fine with different ways of saying it.
Joe?
Well, I guess Joey went home. Oh, and look, there's still one box that I have to unpack. Oh my God, you almost gave me a heart attack.
Oh.
Paralinguistic tone.
My best friend and my sister. I cannot believe this.
Sorry, but it's true. I love him too.
My best friend and my...
So also tone, first shouting and then to be pleased with it, but the same phrase. This is posture to show that they're tired or bored with something.
Let's put aside the fact that you accidentally picked up my grandmother's ring and you accidentally proposed to Rachel. People do this. I don't really know what that means. I'm sorry.
So, and that was gestures with accidentally, also fun. So we have different type of non-verbal communication. Send me the answer, which one do you like the most? Facial expression, eye contact, physical appearance, spatial behavior, paralinguistic, it's tone of voice or pitch of voice, and kinesis is gesture and posture. So which is your favorite one? Also, at the beginning of the lesson, I promised you that you will have a chance to win the prize. So that's time for it. So eye contact, yeah, it's the most favorite one. That's quite interesting. I also like with gestures. So as for the prize itself, you will have the task. First of all, we just practice. And second one, it would be the first person who sends me the answer gets the prize. So let's start with practicing it. How should you work with it? You look the first picture, yeah, what is it? You know that it's magnet. Okay, so in magnet, there are 6 letters. You choose M-H, then you don't need 3, and the last T, magnet, M-A-T. Then lemon, you change L into H, M-A-T-H, and you cross 2 letters at the end of it. Then you can see next picture, you don't need first letter, but 2 you need. And this word, you change E into S. So try to guess what it is. If you don't understand how it works, please type me that I don't understand. I'll explain it again. Yeah, you're so fast. Excellent. Mathematics. Good. I hope that you all understand how it works. And now you will have the real one. The first person who sent it wins the prize. Let's go. Ready? So if you have any spelling mistakes, it won't treat it. So please, without the spelling mistakes, only the correct word. So this one a little bit complicated. So pay attention that in the first one, these are the letters that you need. And here pictures. We have the answer. Westminster. Yeah, Evgenia, my congratulations. Please type me after the webinar in private messages on the platform. And then you will have the opportunity to take your prize. So if it won't you who get the prize, don't be dissatisfied with it. We will have such kind of task from time to time. So you also will have the opportunity to get the prize. Now let's turn back here. So we were discussing non-verbal communication. Yeah, some of you commented that you like all of them. Eye contact, the first one, tone of voice, good. So non-verbal communication, let's start with the appearance. So you remember that it was episode with Yeti. Our choice of color, clothing, hairstyle, and other factors affect on our appearance and also considered as non-verbal communication. According to what people see when they first set their eyes on you, judgment about your personality, abilities that might be concluded, as it was in the second episode with a man at the supermarket when he judged them without giving him a chance. So this all about our appearance. Next one, gestures. Communicating with different parts of your body, for example, your head or head. It may be hand movements, nodding with your head, winking, and the rest. Facial expression, it's the mimic on your face that you show with your emotions, all your smiles, frowning, and the rest. Postures, the way you move or how you place your body in the space. So we can have arm crossing, legs crossing, and it also has its meaning, as you are comfortable or not comfortable in this situation. Sometimes it's just a posture of being relaxed, also possible, and sitting position, how you do it. Then eye contact. One example of eye contact you've already seen, but it's not only like staring at someone trying to persuade. It might be also the movement on the eyes, blinking, winking, and direction where you look. Apart from this, paralinguistic, when we speak about tone, voice, pitch, and loudness. So all these paralinguistic features showing your emotions, mood, and intention, communicating the message. So you can say the same phrase, but in different way, and you will get another reaction to it. Someone might be pleased, and other people, vice versa, with the same phrase may be shocked or confused. Good. If you have any questions with this one, please ask them, and I'll try to answer. Now we will move forward to the task itself. Let's practice it a little bit. Tell me who you can see on this picture and where she is. Yeah, you're right. This is Angelina Jolie. And here at the background, you can see golden statue. What might it be? Probably Oscar. Yeah, the ceremony of it. Now look at the second picture here. So is it the same person? Yes, it is. So, and we might see different appearance, how she looks like. Does it influence how we perceive her, how we understand what is going on? Yeah, the place where she is, the clothes, all of it is important for our communication. Next one. Here you can see Obama, and this action with his eyes. What does it mean? How does he feel himself? So he's blinking, and maybe he's listening to a story he doesn't like, but not to be in a conflict with someone he partially agrees with it. Good. Or maybe you have your own ideas what might this gesture means. Next, this is Clinton, and what is she doing? He's sleepy. Okay, yeah, might be a good idea. Tired as well. So tired, bored, yeah. And what about Clinton? She might be happy. We can see a smile on her face, wink to someone. So she's definitely satisfied with the situation and has some ideas. Or agreeing with something. Yeah, Maria, good. Let's move forward. What does it mean? He's shouting, going to punch someone. Does he feel aggressive? Maybe dissatisfied? This is also a kind of non-verbal communication when we shout but do not say a word. And this one, what is the reaction? So he might be shocked, embarrassed, overwhelmed at the rest, surprised. Good. And what about this picture? So again, we can see smile on the face, satisfaction, gratitude, what is going on. And the last picture here, you can see a woman, and she's hiding her eyes. Also, she is red, maybe because of the light, maybe because of the situation. So why is it happened? Sometimes we can see that people said a silly joke, maybe a sentence or something wrong, and they cover with their hand their mouth. So here she's covering her eyes, so maybe she doesn't want to see what is going on, or she's confused, embarrassed that it was her who did this stupid action. Yeah, shy, confused, sure. Here July well knowing the truth. She is shy. Excellent. Let's move forward. Here you might see verbal and facial expression. I am so happy, it makes me embarrassed, this is so boring, and wow. Now I'll try to show you the reaction and you guess which of these four I showed you. So what was it? Type in chat. Next one, postures. We have I'm so tired, I'm so depressed, I'm so happy to see you, and let me think. So what might this be about? Gestures. I'm gonna kill you now. Everything is okay. It's so cool, and go that way. So this was, let's move forward. Verbal and gestures. Yes, I agree with you. No, you are wrong. I love you. And we have 4 pluses left. Well done. This is paralinguistics. So it means that we have only one verbal phrase. I can't believe it. But we can pronounce it in different ways. For example, to say that something is so cool, or how could you do it? How could you do this to me? Now I'll tell you this phrase as one of the options, and you need to send me numbers. Either it was 1, that's so cool, or number 2, how could you do this to me? I can't believe it. So was it number 1 or number 2? Next one. Come here. We can say as, please, just for a second, I need a little help. Immediately. Oh, my darling, you have a present for you. Come here. So what number was it? First, second, or third? Come here. And this one? Good. What is this? We can say it as, I've never seen such a thing before. Are you crazy? And is it for me, really? That's the best present I've ever gotten. So again, type 1, 2, or 3. What is it? Well done. You're quite good at guessing. Let's move forward. You might see one more video and we will discuss what is going on here. So you need to type the men, yeah, you will have some of them, which you think pronounce the phrase in the most correct way. So tell me the number, either he will be the first, the second, the third, and the rest.
To be or not to be. That is the question. Sorry. I mean, yes, yes, but if you don't mind a note, or to be or not to be, because it's the choice. It's the choice. To be or not to be. Yeah, that's right. To be or
it's not the skull.
What?
It's not the skull. That's the wrong speech, the wrong soliloquy.
It's Hamlet always has the skull.
It doesn't.
Yeah, whatever. Either way, it's to be or not to be. That is the question.
To be or
calm down.
right? It's simple.
Or
Don't lose focus. To be or not to be, that is the question. That land on it. Just to be like that is
And I
the
suppose-
question. Sit on it. You can
I suppose they let you play Hamlet. be or not to be, that is the question.
Okay, so here you saw 8 people talking or saying the same phrase in a different way. Which one do you think is the most suitable in this situation? Or which one do you like? Yeah, second was or. Yeah, this one. Okay. So actually all of them have a right, yeah, to pronounce it in the way that they wanted, or maybe they hear, it seems to me, the best one. But as for Shakespeare point, yeah, Cambridge was the best one in this phrase. Okay, now let's look at what communication consists of. Interfere of attitude from non-verbal communication and verbal communication. And what you say is sometimes less important than how you say it. So it means that the phrase itself might be simple without anything, but if you add some special intonation, maybe emotion, it will sound differently. So here it consists of 35% of words and 65% of tone and body language. As for effective communication, let's turn back to our rule, yeah? Messages and feedback. Here you can see the process, how we get this feedback. First, it's speak, write, show. Then it's listen, read, watch, and only after that giving feedback or also getting feedback. Now look at communication tips. First, you should use simple language for better understanding and speak clearly. Second, make your messages interesting and useful. Avoid the information overload. Yes, and a lot of things that are useless. Establish eye contact. Do not forget about non-verbal communication. Number 4, don't interrupt. Be attentive, polite, and positive. And 5, be an active listener. Give a high-quality feedback. So all of these tips are extremely important. Now we will have a test together. I will read you the question and you type the answer in chat that you think is the most suitable one. So the answer will be A, B, C, D. First question. Which of these is a communication skill? A, talking clearly. B, chewing gum. C, looking bored. Which of these is a communication skill? A, talking clearly. B, chewing gum. C, looking bored. Next one. Which of these is a communication skill? A, talking at the same time as someone else. B, listening to what people say. C, putting your fingers in your ears. Again, number 2. Which of these is a communication skill? A, talking at the same time as someone else. B, listening to what people say. C, putting your fingers in your ears. Number 3. Which of these is not a communication skill? A, running. B, texting. C, chatting to people. Which of these is not a communication skill? A, running. B, texting. C, chatting to people. Number 4. What body language shows you are listening? A, turning away from the speaker. B, nodding and making eye contact. C, looking out of the window. Again, number 4. Which body language shows you are listening? A, turning away from the speaker. B, nodding and making eye contact. C, looking out of the window. Number 5. Which of these is not a communication skill? A, laughing. B, swimming. C, asking questions. Which of these is not a communication skill? A, laughing. B, swimming. C, asking questions. Number 6. Someone is telling you about an accident they've had. How would you react? A, look pleased. B, look behind you. C, look concerned. 6. Someone is telling you about an accident they've had. How would you react? A, look pleased. B, look behind you. C, looked concerned. Concerned means worried. Number 7. Just a second. 7. If you need to make a phone call for information, what you could do before you call? A, prepare your questions. B, brush your teeth. C, make a coffee. Number 7. If you need to make a phone call for information, what could you do before your call? A, prepare your questions. B, brush your teeth. C, make a coffee. 8. You have a discussion with a friend about politics. You don't agree with them. What should you do? A, change the subject. B, say what you believe. C, get angry with your friends. You have a discussion with a friend about politics. You don't agree with them. What should you do? A, change the subject. B, say what you believe. C, get angry with your friend. Number 9. How would you communicate with your child's teacher? A, send a text. B, visit their house. C, send a postcard. D, phone at school. Again, how would you communicate with your child's teacher? A, send a text. B, visit their house. C, send a postcard. D, phone the school. 11. How would you communicate with your neighbor? A, send a text. Go to their house. C, send a postcard. D, phone them. How would you communicate with your neighbor? A, send a text. B, go to their house. C, send a postcard. D, phone them. And the last one. When would you send a postcard? A, when you want to go out with your friend, when you can't get to work, when you are on holiday, when you want a doctor's appointment. Again, when would you send a postcard? A, when you want to go out with your friend, when you can't get to work. C, when you are on holiday, when you want a doctor's appointment. Okay, good. So are you ready to check it now? I'm sure that you're right with all the answers, but still. Number 1, the correct answer is A. Yeah, that is the same as you have. Yeah, sure, the same. Good. Number 2, correct answer B. Excellent. Number 3, the correct answer is A. Good. Number 4, B. Number 5, also B. The right answer here is swimming, yeah, because the question was what is not a communication skill. So laughing, it's communication skill. That is why swimming, it's not. 6, it's C. Good. Then number 7. 7, the correct answer A. 8, B. 9, D. And 10, B. Good. 11 was C. Yeah, excellent. So do you have any questions? If you have, send them to me in the messages. For today's lesson, we've covered all the principles of effective communication, what is the miscommunication, and practice verbal, non-verbal communication. I would like to finish with the quotation that your ability to communicate with others will account for fully 85% of your success in your business and in your life. So Brian Tracy thinks that it's 85% of the how communication is important. So for you, how many percent of this communication shows the importance? So send me this percent. Thank you for the lesson. That is all for today. Enjoy your holidays. Have enough rest and see you next week. Bye.